the Swiss. Arsenal's telling everybody they did that on purpose. Now they run into NRG in the quarterfinals. You know, they're the team who really gave themselves a hard journey through this tournament, and so far they've dealt with that pretty well. So really interested to see how this one's going to go. NRG, like Dazzer said, they can almost, if not guaranteed, clinch major with a win in this tournament. Spacestation, they need a deep runner. They're going to be right on that 5th place tie, looking in at the teams above them.
A lot to play for here already in the quarterfinals of regional number 2. Spacestation in the orange, NRG in the blue, and a best of 7, 4 wins to advance here. GaryG to catch in the midfield. Justin now with his 1 touch, now looking for the second one. Typical will get it out to his upfield teammate Reddles. The neutral challenge in NRG backfield. Here's Reddles with a win. Justin pick up control, and a 1v1 up against Typical. He's going to take it straight to the sky. Typical still backwards. He dunks him for goal number 1.
Well, Typical really far away from the play here. Reddles trying to censor it to him. Typical's all the way back in his defensive half with full boost. And that actually just gives Justin a free 1v1 play. Great dunk by Justin at the end of that air dribble. He turned around to block Typical's clear attempt. I'm surprised Typical didn't move in on that. It looked like a pretty good position for SSG.
He hesitated for just a moment, but he's going to look at the other end. Typical with the flip reset. The stealing shot here to tie the game.
Wow.
Well, reset.
What an answer from Typical. Squishy wasn't able to get any kind of ball pressure on him, and Typical with that kind of shot just leaves NRG completely with no answer. I mean, you can't really blame the goalkeeper for letting that one through. Instant redemption for Sip, and that's exactly what I was saying. Why wasn't he going on the previous attack? This guy is so dangerous.
A second air dribble off the kickoff here for Typical, and Justin manages to stop him in net. What a way to immediately bounce back and tie the game. It's just we just mentally reset. Now we got a 4-minute game of Rocket League here. Ball bounces in the midfield. Here's Reynolds to pop it to the sky. Arsenal's up forward. He's going to get to the ball first, but GaryG manages to get second touch. Second challenge, double commit from NRG in front of the goal. Typical's going to try and get this one, but Squishy gets it through, gets bumped off the ball, and Justin now pushed out to midfield.
It's a good start for the game for SSG. That 1 goal they've conceded was just a big positional mistake by Typical. Apart from that, they're the team who are out-pressuring NRG at the moment. And with NRG coming out full octanes today, I think that tells us about how they want to play this. They want to really play a fast series, try and use their mechanics to keep Spacestation at bay. Oh, that's almost a goal off the inside of the post. Typical had a faith in the upright, keeping that one out of the net for him. Nearly a goal for NRG.
Yeah, NRG didn't realize, I think it was Gary, I don't think he had any idea that he was going to get a free shot there and just drove through looking for goalies, and he probably had ball cam turned off. Well, we'll stay tied up here. Squishy closing on this one, low on boost. Reddles takes over control in the corner. He's got his flip to work with, but gives it to Arsenal. Now spacing back out, Arsenal versus GaryG in the corner. Neutral, and Justin, the pickup control, loses the second challenge, and Squishy now on the third man, passing up to GaryG, picks it up, passes to Justin, nearly takes the shot, just barely off of his nose.
Great forward run by GaryG, making himself a passing option. Now he gets the double demo as he comes back into the NRG half. This momentum is starting to swing in NRG's favor, but nobody on the infield. Actually, a big dunk from Squishy. It's almost gone in. He turned around late for that one. Still NRG coming forward. The post saves Spacestation again.
This is so much pressure. Right on top of him. Justin comes in for another shot just high of the crossbar. Typical now to try and chase it out, but he loses control of the ball and has to hit his brakes to get it back. Lucky for him, the rest of NRG wasn't able to crash the box, but GaryG wins the next series of challenges. Squishy puts it onto the backboard, and Justin now to pick up control. Looking for another 1v1. Keeps this one low, and Reynolds will block him at the point of contact.
Spacestation have got almost no boost between them here. It's really tough to challenge NRG, who are consistently aerialing the ball right now. Arsenal trying to force his way into the play here. He's the only one who's got any boost for Spacestation Gaming. He actually just had to steal a boost away from his teammate, because if he didn't, NRG would.
Interesting demolition there. GaryG takes it away. Now Reynolds winning more challenges in the corner. Justin picks up control. It's the demolition on the Arsenal, but not before Arsenal puts it onto his backboard. And more, man, NRG physical right now. Every challenge is ending in a demo. Squishy wins another one to push it all the way into the backfield. Spacestation, final minute approaching here. Neither team with an edge. As GaryG gets another save, Squishy up for a double commit on offense. Reynolds needs a double tap. This one with Justin. Oh man, Reynolds still gets another wheel onto it. And Garrett G's in an awkward spot on his backboard, manages to loft it, and Arsenal's not able to find Justin, but he finds Squishy, open backfield. Justin wins a challenge, pass across to Arsenal as Space Station's pushing for the lead. Onto the backboard once more, Reynolds up, only one defender, and Reynolds finds the shot. They've got the lead with 43 seconds left.
What a play by Space Station. They're just playing keep away. They're not worried about putting the shot on target when NRG have got goalies there. They're just putting it over their heads, looking for the open net that will come eventually if they keep on landing these outplays. Really good discipline, great passing from Space Station Gaming. And that was against the run of play. NRG, moments ago, hit the post about 4 times.
Oh, here comes a shot on the following kickoff. Garrett G's shot gets blocked, and Squishy now looking for Justin. Justin will be low on boost and demolished. Space Station now with control as Reynolds flies straight down the middle of the field, looking to bounce it off the ground, and Garrett G lofts it high again. Justin off the respawn, trying to challenge in the second man, but loses the ball in no man's land. Now Squishy to push upwards against Typical and Reynolds in goal. See Reynolds gain control. 14 seconds left. Space Station back up on offense. Back pass here, looking for some security. Oh, the dunk will put it high.
Really
here
well
comes
played.
the follow-up, and they'll sink it in. Typical makes it a 3-1 game.
That's just such a smart play by Arsenal. Again, not getting risky with it. They've already got a 1-goal lead. There's no need to try and shoot the ball into an obvious dunk. Instead, he gets behind it, plays a strong 50-50, and even if that doesn't bounce into the middle, they can still sit on that 1-goal lead. Space Station playing this one out consistently. They're going to be extremely happy with how they've played an attack in this game. Definitely worrying signs in the mid-game, though. NRG had them on the back foot, and I think we're pretty unlucky not to go 1 goal ahead there.
Yeah, I know. I think NRG generally in the challenge game, I would give the edge to NRG. But Space Station, it felt like the moments that really set them apart were those offensive extended sieges where they're up in the NRG back third. They're able to find the demolitions, able to find the bumps to really open up the goal. It really was that go-ahead goal, the 2-1 situation where they established the lead, and then the 3-1 was just a little bit of security there at the end. So really solid performance from both sides, but Space Station ultimately going to emerge with the win.
Yeah, both teams doing a great job starving each other of boost when they're attacking, and a very physical game from both sides. We didn't really see one team prioritizing that over the other. They were both quite happy to run off the ball and just start chasing each other. And that shows a lot of faith in your teammates. If you're going to take yourself out of the game for an extended period of time just on the hunt for demos, then you need to tell your team, okay, you guys are 2v3. You guys are 2v2. Well, it's 2v2 if you land the demo, 2v3 if you don't. Love to see that from both of these teams. Great look, actually. I'm excited to see game 2 if we get more of that.
We got to... Well, I think there will be a larger conversation around dedicated demo men after... phase yesterday. Garrett G fighting 2 here off the kickoff. We'll see if the meta slowly adjusts here as the season rolls on. Squishy with a nice challenge in the midfield, but Garrett G has to fall off that ball as Typical. No way! Stylish goal for goal number 2.
I love that from Typical. We saw him make a mistake in a similar position in the first game. He wasn't close enough to the play to capitalize. This time he just charges in. He's the only one left in the play there, but he still knows he can get to the ball. And what a read on the downbinds. Typical popping off here, not deterred, not bothered by that one mistake in game 1.
And his watch the guillotine drop. Takes goal number 1 here for game number 2. Space Station leading in this series, looking to extend that lead here in game 2. Garrett G wins a challenge in the corner. Arsenal going to be fast to this ball. Justin manages to get the ball to Squishy, and Reynolds has to turn around. So now Typical in net with Arsenal waiting in the third man. Garrett G trying to get out of this corner, but loses a second touch challenge. And here comes Squishy now with Arsenal in the corner, putting the pressure immediately on him. Squishy's not able to get the full read, but emerges with the ball high in his own corner. The first minute comes and goes. NRG still looking for goal number 1. They had an early lead in game number 1. Since then have been trailing or tied with Space Station the entire series. Here's Squishy now in the corner with Arsenal coming off the ceiling. He's not going to have much here, but Reynolds will try to keep that pressure on. And somehow Garrett G, it bounces off of him. Justin sitting slowed in the corner. We might see a pause coming in, and there it is. Okay. Right on cue.
Yeah, so that I mean, with probably the most obvious pause incoming I've ever seen, with Justin literally not moving. And you know, I've seen 1 or 2 times where players will do this as some kind of a mind game, but there was no advantage to sitting still here. Justin obviously having some connection issues, will be back into the game as soon as possible. Interesting to note that NRG are starting to fake a few challenges here or there. Saw Justin on the last Space Station attack deciding to fake a challenge. I think they've realized Space Station aren't trying to just take snapshots and take early chances on net. They're really just trying to outplay NRG, trying to use the walls, the backboard, and just little mind games to get the ball past NRG. And then once there's no defenders left, that's when they're taking their shots. So look for more fake challenges from NRG. I think that's going to be a really big thing for them to try and stop Space Station from having so much success with the outplays.
Yeah, I'm taking a look again here at some of the highlight moments from game number 1. That moment, a missed opportunity. I think the post bounce is something Garrett G was not going to be able to read.
Oh my!
Oh, so close in front of the net again. They were not short for opportunities. NRG in game number 1, and ultimately Space Station was just more productive on the offense here.
Oh, but what a read!
I do wonder with this pause again. It looks we have not received any official wording. I haven't seen anything in game either to confirm what's happening here. But I believe it's a Justin situation again, a Justin DC, which that would be in my memory from matches I've casted the 3rd time this season so far. We're only in the 2nd regional here. There's got to be a point at which that starts to affect the mental of a team, knowing that your tether to the virtual realm where your competition happens that can snap out at a moment's notice for one of your key players here, as Corelli pointed out on the pre-show, is as unstable as that this is the 3rd time they're having to deal with this season. I wonder what they're doing, how their comms are handling this situation right now.
I'm just checking. So Musty is streaming. I wanted to see if he's in rings. Got hit with an advert. I'll have that information for you in 25 seconds. But if Musty's in rings, then that's going to really completely turn the series around. If he isn't already, Musty, get on it, mate. You might be needed momentarily, but hopefully not. I mean, Justin, this early in the series, having connection issues is not a good sign for NRG. Space Station bringing their A game here. They gave themselves the hard route through this tournament, and they're taking it really well. Eliminating FaZe. Now they're looking to do the same thing to NRG. It's difficult when you have a bad run in Swiss. You get tough matchups, but Space Station actually might turn that around if they can win them all and really do some damage to the rivals' point standings.
It was kind of crazy when we were looking at the round of 5 yesterday, and like you had Space Station and FaZe and Ghost like all in like what are Space Station and FaZe doing in the round of 5? When we were sitting there like, I was on the tournament broadcast, all like, all right, who do we want to play? And it's like, what are you out of this pool? Like this sucks. This is
really
it made a lot of people's lives hard.
Yeah, I just noticed Musty is now in rings, so that's good to see that NRG have got their talisman, their backup ready. So NRG fans, rest assured, they're gonna have 3, players to play out the remainder of this series with or without Justin. Yeah, they won't be 2v3. If it is, I mean, it would be a bit of a phase strategy, but without Illusion chasing everybody for demos. So I'm not sure how that would go. I am really curious to see what Space Station try to do from a 1-0 game here. I mean, it's typical. I was kind of worried after that mistake he made in game 1 that he'd just double down on playing defensively, because sometimes when you make that mistake, you're worried about making another one. You don't want to get involved too aggressively, but he's done the opposite. He's just lunging in when he sees an opening and scored an absolute worldie there for 1-0. But can Space Station keep that up? Are they satisfied with the 1-goal lead?
Yeah, I mean, people are asking for the cow. Right now, it appears that the plan is to get Justin back in, so it seems like he's getting fixed. So obviously, we'll keep you updated if things change. But I think we're getting pretty close to this game getting started again, and I believe Justin will still be on the roster at this point. Just the keeping their wits in the game for even as experienced of a roster as NRG. I feel like disconnects are one of the most easily tilting situations. You have no control over it. You just have to try it. You just have to deal with it and just play your best game and just mentally rebound and just hope it doesn't happen again. That's a big challenge for them. So I'm having a key eye on really the whole NRG roster here, but Justin in particular when they get restarted.
Yeah, it's part of being a pro. You need to deal with circumstances that aren't ideal. Sometimes you're not feeling 100% on game day. Sometimes your hardware or your internet connection's not giving you the 100% that you're expecting. You just have to deal with that. You need to focus on the task at hand. The job stays the same. You need to beat Space Station Gaming in a best of 7. And NRG from behind Going to look to do that with a comeback in game 2.
I will look for it here in game 2. We'll start at 3:41 on the clock. Space Station's goal, obviously, will stand. And Justin is back in, just for full confirmation. It's the full starting roster. Musty will have to wait this time another day. Arsenal challenges one in the midfield by Space Station. NRG and Justin committing to each other on the backboard. Justin now the third man as Typical gets bumped off the ball. Squishy take it over the top of Arsenal and we'll leave it to Reddles. In the backfield, nearly bumped, but no, NRG wasn't able to get a wheel on him. And now the pass up to Reddles on the cherry pick. NRG with the interception. He's going to try and carry this up the field, but Arsenal and Reddles now tag teaming it together to send a shot on target. The NRG defense having to play in their front third here.
Love that.
Take to this guy.
The ball pressure from Rettles really solid there. Oh, what a recovery. Oh my goodness, Justin.
Ow!
How has he gotten through? Well, I guess that answers your question, Wavepunk. Is Justin going to be bothered? No, he's not. He's just going to get right back into the game, start scoring goals.
This is the opposite of tilt frustration. Well, okay, now you've done it. Now I'm just going to score on you. That was all 3 players he had to beat, Johnny.
Yeah.
Like, Justin is popping off.
Yeah, he kept control perfectly. He drew in the challenge, outplayed it, still had control of the ball so he can shoot quickly to the top corner. Typical wasn't badly positioned in net there. He's still not able to save it. Oh, that's still on target. Squishy getting the goal off the crossbar. What a beat by Squishy, using the ceiling to his advantage. It's all about speed here. Just getting the ball over Typical. He knows that it might go in. And actually, you know what? That crossbar bounce might have outplayed Rettles, who was lunging in, attempting a save.
So. Yeah, I think the crossbar, I mean, part of it is that, the shot, it initially looks like it's going to just bounce off the backboard, so you don't even need to defend it. And then as the read starts to develop more and you realize, oh no, there's a chance it's going in, the crossbar ultimately playing at Rettles by changing the angle just enough to where he couldn't get a wheel onto it there. And Squishy, I think Squishy's touch definitely is to beat the airborne defender, but icing on the cake, just make sure your shots are generally going towards the goal at all times and you'll get goals sometimes.
Yeah, so it's far better to bounce the ball off the ceiling over an obvious challenge than to just try and 50-50 the ball through a player. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's obviously going to bounce sideways if you do that. So really smart play by Squishy, using the ceiling to his advantage. You know, center ball or goal, both winning situations for NRG.
Ooh. Pass to Garrett G with a nice challenge, but Reddles in the third man booms it to the backboard and then chases it up himself. He's going to miss the first one, but it turns into a fake. Oh my goodness, Arsenal ties the game.
Well, you know, the earlier Rettles calls this, the better it is for his team. And you can see at the end there, he's leading away from the ball. He knew that he's missed it. Arsenal already making a move towards it. Great communication from Space Station. And from NRG's POV, you need to keep an eye on Rettles there. Harder to see the second shot coming through. Just like that, Space Station back in the game.
And now again, NRG. Trying to figure out how to play from behind. I wouldn't call it's not behind. It's you know, mathematically not behind, but it almost feels that way with how this series has been. A tie game seems to favor Space Station, especially after game number 1. Now here's Garrett G in the midfield with Squishy to try and pick it up after the lost challenge, and pinches it neutrally back down the middle of the field. Typical now looking to connect with Arsenal with Rettles, but Justin intercepts. Space Station getting more opportunities on offense again. Here's Squishy to the sky. Past one. Now Justin to close the gap, but no. Loses the challenge to Typical. Final minute of game 2. Space Station with a pinch. Putting it on target now. Squishy with Garrett G down the field. Gets the demo on him, but the collapse. Rettles manages to save the game-winning goal.
Look at the aggression coming out of NRG again. Committing 2 players to the play. They are not holding back here. This is, I think, the right way to play against SSG, because if you sit back and let them come at you, they are, I think, just so good at making the right decisions. Now we've got 2 defenders for Space Station. Arsenal makes the ball before the NRG player can. It looks like SSG are just waiting for that counter-attacking opportunity. They're sitting a bit deeper now, trying to mix it up a little bit. NRG well aware of that, keeping players in defense as well.
Space with 10 seconds left, looking for the win here. Garrett G and Squishy tag team this one into the goal with little help from the defenders for a late game lead.
Wow, Garrett G's pre-jumped this. What a pass by Squishy. Garrett G pre-jump, point blank range, in off the post. NRG have been hitting some nasty pre-jump plays recently, and the volume is just absurd. How can they do this with such consistency?
It's not over yet. The pass back down. Typical looking for a buzzer beater, but no, now it's over. Justin will push it into the ground, and NRG will tie the series. I'm still thinking about the shot, though. Like, what? What was that? Like I said a defender helped it in because it just looked like it pinballed off the defenders, but no, Spacestation didn't touch it. NRG were just clean.
That's crazy. NRG turning this into the season of the pre-jump at this rate. And I wouldn't be surprised, seeing the success they're having with that strategy. I think they've scored a pre-jump goal in both RLCS weekends now. They've both been incredible reads. So is this the season of the pre-jump? We had the, flip resets and double flip resets really coming into popularity last season, although they had been present in previous seasons, nowhere near the amount that we saw in the Season X. And before that, we had the ceiling shots, and we had the air dribble plays, the air dribble bump starting to become popular. This might be the new thing to keep an eye on. It's so much harder to defend. I mean, you can't beat Garrett to the ball there when he's just jumping before you do.
No, because as a defender, you're, at least right now, the strategy in Rocket League is you have to react, right? You have to wait for the pass to happen and read it. If the passer knows where the shooter is going to be, the shooter can win the challenge at the point of contact every time if he's pre-jumping there. I think offensive pre-jumps really will become more and more prevalent in a game that is all about being a step ahead. That's literally, a pre-jump is literally being a step ahead, but passing to a pre-jump shooter is maybe the hardest thing I can possibly think of in Rocket League. You have to be so accurate. You have to that's so difficult.
Yeah, it just shows how familiar NRG are with this strategy, that they're able to hit those passes so well. They're reading each other really, I think above any other team at the moment. And the aggression that we're seeing from NRG's second man is extremely impressive. They are not holding back. They're attacking that near post area. Spacestation with now the knowledge of that will need to look out for it. Oh, look at this. Oh, a bit too low from Sypical. It is saved by Squishy. Sypical still looking like the player to watch for Spacestation Gaming.
And the fact that he got an uncontested double tap like that had to be saved on the goal line, already a well-made play for Spacestation. Give him a few more of those. They'll inevitably score. And Squishy will try to push this out of his own half, but Spacestation all up on the offense right now, looking for the pass in front of the box. Oh, Reddles out here. Arsenal threatening some touch in the corner. Froze NRG's rotation, but then backs out on the third man. Now Garrett G, a pinch outwards. And Arsenal will pick up control here. He's going to try. Well, he chooses to leave it as he sees Squishy already airborne. Now off the wall. Again, nobody home on the backboard. He's got an option to pass, but see an outright tackle from NRG. The first minute coming and going quietly here in game number 1.
Spacestation still playing a very high defensive line here. NRG quite comfortable at the moment, though. They've been keeping an eye on their back corner boost, not letting Spacestation come in and take full control. Great touch there by Arsenal. He gets the ball past one player, 50-50 is the next. That's the double commit, though, leaving it wide open for Squishy. Where's Garrett? He's not going to be there in time. Typical. Shepherds the ball clear. Arsenal likewise. That's a good touch by Rettles. Arsenal and Rettles working together there to clear the ball in a position that neither could have done so by themselves.
After that goal we saw from Garrett G in the last game, I'm kind of rethinking what I think is a possible shot for that man. Like I still don't think that he should have been able to hit that, and yet at this point, anytime he's touching the ball near the goal, I'm gonna not count him out.
Yeah, Garrett's playing with a ton of confidence at the moment. He's switched to the Fennec actually, and I think it's looking a lot more comfortable. It's same hitbox as the Octane, but such a different feel when you play with that car. So really good thing to be able to do. Oh, Justin's off his line here. That's almost it. It's off the post and wide. Justin extremely fortunate to get away with that one.
Yeah, NRG thanking the stars. That one's not in the back of their net. Here's Justin into the corner. Gonna look for this bounce. Nice read. Places it well, but defended by Arsenal. Such a difficult read on the defense. They managed to handle it no problem.
It's looking like a grand final. It's everything we hope for from NRG and Spacestation. What a day for North America. What an event for North American RLCS. This has been all thanks to Spacestation. Struggling in the Swiss. We need more of that.
Struggling in the Swiss and then knocking out the reigning regional champs. Guaranteeing us a new champion here in regional number 2, phase out. of the competition already.
Oh,
but
my.
massive demolitions as Arsenal takes out 2. And they'll have the, luckily for NRG, the last touch they made was a massive clear. So they'll be back on the field before Spacestation can pressure.
Oh, that was almost through. Great recovery by Arsenal. It's good by Spittle anyway. Rails is there. That was a really difficult position for Arsenal. He dealt with it well. Managed to turn around and knock the ball into the near post area. Typical keeping it in the corner as well. NRG waiting for a mistake, it would seem, from Spacestation, who've been playing great Rocket League today. Look at the physical play again from Garrett.
Wow.
Garrett and Arsenal have been off the ball, demoing everybody in this series.
Yeah, Garrett G was upfield looking for Sipical. Sipical jumps over Garrett and then wins the challenge against Justin after
Look at Garrett.
falling back to the ground. And Garrett is so physical as Reynolds finds Squishy in the backfield. But now Garrett G trying to put it across, and again, Squishy demolished. There's no chance they've got a really aggressive third man there to pick up the shot. But here comes NRG, winning challenges, isolating Arsenal, keeping Sipical here in the back, off the backboard. Here comes Justin, and he drops it in! No way! They've got the lead!
And that's the danger. If you leave the ball lingering in the edge of your box, look at the speed of Justin.
Wow.
Rails wasn't slow to that, but Justin was faster. And he does not miss. Rifling it between the defenders. All 3 Space Station players just watch that go past them. Justin, the difference in game number 3. And again, making a difference for his team, this time in defense.
Game saving save there as well. 15 seconds left. Game number 3. Series tied up at 1 apiece. NRG looking to take the lead. As typical. Off the wall, Arsenal looking for goalies, making things difficult on the back line, but Squishy's going to get up in time and push it out and into the ground. NRG win 2 in a row and take control here in the series with the only goal coming from Justin. I want to highlight on the replay. I want people to pay attention to the fact that the ball doesn't touch the ground, which is maybe the hardest part of that shot, but also so important as a RLCS professional here to be training yourself to not let the ball bounce, just so that in the 0-second situations, you have the option. Man, what a defensive game, though.
Yeah, as we know, Justin's got quite a history of scoring those high aerials without bouncing the ball in. I think he'd consider it a miss if it bounces on the way in. He won't settle for anything less, and that pursuit of perfection is what makes Justin such a deadly striker of the ball. Great speed by Justin to beat his man, beat Rettles to the ball, and then at the end of the game, we saw the opposite. We saw Squishy actually with great speed and defense and great positioning as well, sitting inside that near post area. We've seen many times at the end of games like this, when everything's getting tense, it's very tempting for a goalkeeper to push out of net there, get closer to the play, and then before they know it, the ball's over their head and they've been scored on. Squishy, very disciplined, staying in the net, waiting for the ball to come across, just trusting the fact that he can still get there fast enough to send the ball clear.
Yeah, and trusting your upfield teammates to be the pressure that you feel that you need in that moment. Squishy, I mean, he was getting harassed by Arsenal as well in net. To not panic in that moment is so critical. Well done to them as they hold on to that hard-fought 1-goal victory. But here comes Space Station now with a play off the wall. Squishy makes this dangerous again. Now Justin into the corner. And Arsenal now chasing this one off of his back third. He wins a challenge in midfield. Reynolds comes up to put pressure on him. Arsenal now, I think he decides to turn around. They had a lot of pressure in the corner, but winning multiple players to the corner, always a kind of high-risk, low-reward situation. As Garrett G finds a shot from the side, Reynolds gets a save, and Typical in the corner will pick it up. He's got half a tank of boost, fakes out Squishy, falls down, looks for second touch, but Garrett G will get it over his head, pop it into the backfield of Space Station.
Justin waiting in the middle there for a center ball that never came. Now here he is, making his presence felt again in offense. Space Station doing their thing. They're well known for controlling the ball and dribbling it out of defense. Here's Justin with the reset. Rettles gets a piece of the ball. Arsenal trying to stay with it as he air dribbles clear. Saw Typical do the same thing moments ago. Space Station really happy to play the 50-50 game today. And with how good they are at that, I'm not surprised to see that being a focus of theirs.
Typical with carryover 1. Arsenal now beating the second, and it's all to Justin here as he flies high. Gets an uncontested touch and then immediately neutralizes all the work from Space Station, putting it onto their backboard. Typical will look for the pinch here off the ground. Garrett G will get enough of a touch of it to give it to Squishy in the air. Reynolds reads it off the backboard, and Justin having to fly back now. Reynolds carries it the entire length of the field, looks for the bumps. Now Garrett, out of his half, tries to shoot the gap, and Justin will extend onto the backboard, but Typical reads it well, booms it the entire length of the field. Both teams doing a good job getting the ball developed down the pitch, but one touch from the defense. The clear game has been strong from both sides.
Yeah, Spacestation having to just send the ball clear. I don't think they like doing this, but they've been boost starved, so they just have to give themselves time to get boost back, and the hard clear is a great way to do that. That's where we're seeing Spacestation just try and get rid of the ball from their half repeatedly here. Look out for Justin, just lurking in the middle again. He's trying to stay in that defensive blind spot. Demo's not really landing right now. Both teams well aware that they're being attempted by the opposition. It's a good save again by Garrett. The NRG player is so good at just sitting in the net and giving themselves a great angle to fly up towards the ball. Typical going to try and take a scenic route off the ceiling. Justin with the save.
Justin gets the save. Arsenal was looking for the demo on him, but again, as you highlighted, not able to find it there. And here comes another shot. NRG with a save. Do they get there in time? Justin will break up any follow-up pressure. Reynolds with a nice adjustment will chase after this. He's out of boost, but he's got the position. G will win the challenge. Justin out to try and chase this one down. He'll pick up his corner boost, but now it's a turn right back around. It's Typical. Keeps the pressure on. Reynolds with a lot of space, and he's got Justin beat. Can he get it past G as well? No, it'll be Garrett off the backboard with the carry. 1:46 left to go here in Game 4. Neither team on the scoreboard.
Uh-oh. Whoa. Unconventional back pass by Reynolds, but he actually manages to send it towards Arsenal pretty harmlessly, and initially it looked like he might just be elaborately own goaling. Spacestation really sitting deep here. Arsenal realizes that someone needs to go, and he takes it upon himself. Great outplay by Garrett G there, able to chip the ball past one and another. Typical has time though. Not too much though. Squishy fakes the challenge, steals the boost away. Those fakes by NRG really paying dividends.
Oh, Arsenal reads the touch from Squishy. Slightly faster than Garrett G, and we'll get to the ball first. But now Justin back on the wall to come out and challenge Arsenal. Final minute of Game 4. NRG looking for match point. And to dust off Spacestation in quick fashion. But a very even Game 4 so far. It is really not gone.
Look at that, Garrett and Justin both queuing up to steal the same boost. Spacestation really can't catch a break here. They're actually doing okay in this position. Their boost management has been phenomenal. Upon realizing that NRG are playing such a high line compared to what they usually do. Knock on by Rettles. Arsenal unable to do too much to trouble Justin now, who still looks so dangerous on the counter-attack. Justin, no one in the middle waiting for him. Arsenal's pass is towards Rettles, but Garrett gets in the way of that one as well. Final few seconds of the game, and is that open for Justin? He's clean through, one in the way. Rettles get the save, and he gets the good clear as well. Rettles able to recover. Can't block Garrett's touch. Back out towards Justin. Justin gonna try and dunk it in. Doesn't go through the last defender. Spacestation hanging on there at the end of the game. That's such a long way back if they give this one to NRG. NRG with a fake kickoff are going to let this one roll through to them. Spacestation again, though, just managing that boost so well. Yes, they're backed up into a corner, but they do have control of the position. Justin really looking for those opportunities. Oh, went for the double off the sidewall. Unable to make contact on target. We saw a similar shot from First Killer in the first event. Typical has some space to work with. Attempts to reset on the ball. Doesn't look like he landed it, but Arsenal still first to the ball. Justin reads him. Controlled touches for Spacestation Gaming. Over and over again. Garrett able to read Typical. It is always spilling out to another Spacestation player. NRG having to defend one player after another. Justin's in a bit of an awkward position here. Rettles with the back pass towards Typical. He tries to find Arsenal at the back post. Arsenal's rotating out. Typical goes himself. Justin able to knock it into the corner as NRG get to try what Spacestation were doing moments ago, and that's defend for extended periods of time. Backboard, not an opening for Spacestation Gaming. NRG so consistent with the defense of that. Will we see Spacestation Gaming attempt an infield pass or even a three-man passing play? We've seen plenty of those from them in the past. Justin continues to look like a threat every time that he touches the ball, but the demos that we saw earlier on in the series becoming less and less of a factor. Both teams are
This is a bit crazy. I'm
significantly
here.
more. Wavefunk, welcome back. You passed out from excitement there, I think.
Yeah, it was bananas. Things like different pipes got clogged somewhere in the world. Look at this!
Oh!
Look at this! Metals, they pushed it away. I was gonna be so happy if just like I spoke and the game ended. That was gonna be just brought it back.
I was gonna be furious, but you know, it didn't end, so not upset. It's been mostly Space Station in offense, but NRG handling the pressure really well. They've defended the backboard every single time Space Station have looked to find a way through. Space Station have tried dribbling, air dribbling. NRG have had answers there as well. Now double it from Squishy off the ceiling. Backboard as well. Making a triple Squishy Muffins. Ends it deep into overtime with a triple off 2 surfaces.
Look at the triple tap from Squishy. So difficult to follow. Arsenal did his best, but no, 2:27 into overtime. And Squishy will take that one down. NRG now on match point.
Wow, what a way to end. And you know, NRG had most of regulation under control. It was Space Station in overtime with all the chances, all the pressure, all the possession. Didn't get a goal out of it. They might wish that they tried just a little bit harder. They didn't go all in at all in this one. Just trying to wait for NRG to make a mistake or run out of boost, and it just never happened. NRG composed and communicating every single time Space Station come at them. And what a move by Squishy.
Oh.
You can't stop that. It's just too good.
Yeah, this has been a very a solo clutchy sort of series where most of the goals are Justin by himself or Squishy by himself like this. We're seeing Space Station a little bit more on the team play side of things, but even that first goal we saw from Sipical, a solo flip reset goal to tie it up after Justin got the 1v1 play on Sipical. So it's kind of fun when you were highlighting NRG's defense. I was able to watch the whole overtime there. They were very, I agreed, like NRG's defense was just really clicking the whole time despite the massive amount of pressure the Space Station was putting out that other teams would buckle under. So solo plays really become the way to score in a series like this.
Yeah, we saw in game 1 that NRG were diving in expecting early shots from Space Station, and Space Station were actually just passing. So it didn't work out for NRG at all, but they're not diving in anymore. They're keeping themselves relevant in plays. They're just pressuring the ball without taking themselves out of the game, and that's the difference that NRG have made. And then their solo plays done the talking. They've actually had more of those big plays. Justin with the 1v3 plays as well. Squishy there at the end of game number 4, and earlier on as well with the pass for Garrett's pre-jump. I mean, NRG are just making bigger plays than Space Station. Yeah, we've had a few from Typical, but Arsenal and Rettles, we know that they could do that as well. They need to step up now. 3 games in a row needed if they're going to come back.
Yeah, it's Typical with it. Oh, okay, there we go. Pressure off the backboard. Reynolds and Arsenal going to team up to get goal number 1.
Well, we asked for them to do something more in offense, and there it is. Rettles threatening a double after the flip reset. Defense pre-jumps, misses. Arsenal at the back post. Love that approach from the back post by Arsenal, connecting so much earlier with the ball than if he has to chase after it from the near post area. So really good positioning by Arsenal, waiting for the center.
I love Reynolds using the flip reset to pass off the backboard once he recognized there was no defender. But what is the speed on this ball? And Squishy ties it up.
Yeah, Squishy just ready for this one. Wow, he just caught that one so cleanly. A bit of a mistake by the Space Station third man to leave that one open. You can see the boost was just a bit too tempting for Sipical. He got drawn towards it, realized his mistake, went back to the goal a moment too late. That's still a fantastic shot by Squishy. You can't hit the ball any harder than that from that position.
I think 68 miles an hour. Quite a banger. And now tied up again. We've seen this happen a few times in this series where one team manages to score the opening goal. Seems like they're going to set the tone, and then it's immediately neutralized, immediately equalized by the other side. This ball goes to the outside. Here's Squishy. We'll chase it down. Wins the first challenge against Typical. Justin crossing the field, looking for an over-the-shoulder shot. Gets the pass off the backboard, but it drops to Rettles. And Space Station will handle it just fine. Now Garrett G. Just hovering behind this. Nice second touch.
Yeah, what a recovery by Garrett. I don't think the first touch is what he was looking for, but he still got back to the ball. Played a really safe 50-50 as he came back down. Squishy denied on his pass. Now here's Arsenal. Can he make a big play? Reset secured. It's a mind game again, and Typical's hit the bar. Terrible bounce for Space Station Gaming. NRG say thank you very much. We'll clear that one back to your half.
Man, but the play was there for Space Station. We've seen them a few times now use this sort of screen offensive drive where one player draws all the attention to himself, the defense is looking at him, and then another player comes in, takes over ball control, and takes the shot right as it becomes clear. Oh wait, I don't think Arsenal's gonna use that flip reset. Oh dear, he's not even the shooter. What are we gonna do here?
Yeah, the mind games have been really good from Space Station. They call very early that there's no follow-up from the first player in on a play. They really need to be so elaborate with their chances if they're going to get past NRG, who are just covering every single angle. Backboard doesn't look like an option for the majority of these plays, and the passing is being intercepted as well. So Space Station, known for their creativity, need to dig into that pocket now if they're going to have any chance of coming back here.
They are facing match point if NRG wins any of the next 3 games, including this one. They will take the victory and move forward in the bracket. Space Station has to play for Game 7 at this point. Arsenal into the sky, wins a challenge. It's going to be very loose on the back wall, but can possibly bump Garrett, and he won't be able to reach him in time and just have to back out. Now, the pass across, he thinks about the shot, instead hits his brakes. He's completely out of boost there, but he'll try to rotate through the NRG backfield, looking to steal anything on his way out. Garrett and Arsenal demolishing each other in the corner. Ball will pinch out to the side. Still a tie game with 1:40 left to go.
Space Station playing clean Rocket League at the moment. That's a great shot. Arsenal in off the bar. NRG unable to get a challenge on the initial pass. Typical. Hits it perfectly. And it was Justin and Squishy. I think Squishy really wanted Justin to just go to the ball there instead of double up in net. Because even if you got 2 goalkeepers, 3 goalkeepers, that shot is just too good. Perfect placement from Arsenal.
It was. You saw the positioning from Squishy in the back, pointed towards the right post from the shooter's perspective, and Justin rotating in just under the left post. Literally upper 90 left is the only undefendable shot. The only shot that is left open given those 2 defenders. Position here, and they push in another one. Space Station on the pass game takes a lead.
A solid play by Space Station once again. Typical with the opening. He's got Rettles in the middle, and even though Justin gets a piece of the ball, Rettles is always going to dunk it in from that position. 3-1, Space Station not done yet.
Not done at all. And they have put NRG in a tough situation if they want to win it here in Game 5. Here comes Arsenal looking for goal number 4. They'll find it. Well done. The kickoff play is working out.
Yeah, Garrett G unable to make contact with the ball or Typical, and that's the key. If he can't take Typical out of the game there, as we often see from cheating players these days, trying to go for a bump, then you're leaving Justin alone in a 1v2, and you know, some kind of ball pressure again was needed from NRG to alleviate the pressure on Justin. Never happened. Space Station comfortably in the lead now in game number 5. Still a long way back, and remember, they're the team who really need a win here. NRG are looking good. They're going to be in the top 5 no matter what coming out of this event, with FaZe already falling. I think FaZe do remain ahead of them. Oh, great control there by Rettles. He didn't have an easy time catching that one, but in reverse, able to take the ball into the corner. The time is really getting away from NRG. They need to go completely all in here, start creating chances, or there's no way that they're going to get into a comeback position with the kickoff strats.
Yeah, they need a goal very quickly to have any chance. The longer this 3-goal deficit remains, the more completely impossible this becomes. There's a nice pass play across by Rettles with that clear. Honestly, I feel like we can call the game on that clear there. And at this point, NRG is going to be preparing for Game 6, as Game 5 was a good one, but got out of hand here in the final moments. And we'll see Space Station take another win, survive for another round.
Yeah, big win in the mind games from Space Station Gaming. Multiple goals here. A strong 50-50 play by SSG. A mind game after a flip reset from Arsenal. They're just faking out NRG in this one, and that is intentional. They've made this adjustment because they realize that NRG aren't diving in on their challenges that much. So actually, we could just wait. If they're not going to lunge in to stop these outplaying touches we were making earlier on in the series, then we could just chill, just take your time. So NRG, ball back in their court. Now they need to throw in some aggressive challenges just so Space Station don't feel so comfortable sitting behind the ball.
Though I will say that we were highlighting, or at least I was highlighting at the beginning of this game, that like, oh, it's been a lot of solo plays that have gotten through here. And then Space Station just brings out the pass game over and over again. we saw so many infield passes, so many like screen plays, even on a few shots that didn't go in there for Space Station. It's what they're going for. When they've got the space, when they're not feeling that crowding in, they're ready for it. And even if they are challenging the passer, they're successfully committing to the shot, saying, hey, I'm going to go up. I'm going to assume you're going to win that challenge and get the ball to me here. And it's working out. Space Station, clean win there in Game 5. We'll go to Game 6.
Cheeky kickoff strat by NRG. They're deliberately letting the ball roll through to Squishy there, hoping that there will be an opening for a pass across field. Didn't end up working out because the Space Station player stuck close enough to the ball to block it, but always got to look out for these kickoff strats from NRG. They're not always trying to win it into the opposition half. Oh my goodness, what a touch by Typical. That's almost bouncing through, but Justin, this time, sitting deep enough to cover it.
Here's Typical out of his corner, lost the ball to Justin. Reynolds will touch it softly. This looks like a ball that would be simple for an NRG player to read, and Squishy's going to try. Garrett G demolished, though, in the second man. Justin will have to tighten up his rotation, and now Garrett G spawning into the second man. He'll move forward. Put pressure on the net. Squishy up for it. Look for the pass to Justin, but broken up by Arsenal. Well read from the defender, and now looking to transition his team onto offense.
Yeah, good covering on the infield passes by both teams. There's no point running away from the play there to grab boost. You might as well stick around in the middle. That's often a passing option for the attacking team. Arsenal so good at reading what his opponents are up to and making himself a nightmare to play against. Now Garrett G on the counter. How's it going to bounce for him? Not too well as it goes up and harmlessly into the Space Station backboard. Now here comes Arsenal again, but Squishy knows that Arsenal's not really got anywhere to go there. The first touch was far too hard. He couldn't catch up to it. Just let him run into the corner.
It's Typical. And Arsenal now. With Reynolds in the third man, he'll pick up the control after the lost challenge, but demolished by Garrett G. That physicality that was characteristic of early in the series has waned here in the last few games. Let's see if maybe Garrett G starts to get back to his demoing ways. Typical here out of the corner after the complete whiff. Justin will lose the challenge to Reynolds after the pass. But Squishy now with a bit of space, not a lot of boost to work with, and Arsenal already airborne. He knows he's just got to turn around and get out of there. 0-0 with 3 minutes left to go. We've had a few very low-scoring games between these teams in this series, and this one looks to be another defensive series that's going to only be defined by a clutch moment.
Yeah, and those clutch moments, more often for SSG in that last game. You got to give it to them. We're waiting to see if they were going to show up big, if they're going to make those big plays individually, and they did. So can they keep that up? Justin certainly can. Now here's Garrett with the follow-up, not able to get past Typical. Rettles has got absolutely no boost here, though. Can he get a touch? Just gets the touch on the ball anyway, but no further than Justin. Triple tap from an impossible angle. It's Garrett G again, and he's hit the crossbar.
Garrett G's accuracy just a little bit off. Difficult shot, 100%, but still, you're looking for any goal here. Justin with the trap and stuff for goal number 1.
Yeah, there's absolutely no boost for SSG to work with, but what? How does Justin score? Even with, a no boost opponent. I think Space Station have done a great job with that save. It looked impossible to score from that angle. I mean, they stuck it as close to the wall as possible, but Justin, man, just finds a way where almost no one else in the world, I mean, it literally looked impossible to score from there. Here comes Space Station now. Rettles denied. It's his shot. It's about to line up. 2 minutes left for SSG. They need to come back. And they're almost there. Denied by double save coming out from NRG.
Typical's going to try. He's got a full tank of boost, but Justin challenges him, and then Garrett G finds the extension to break up the drive. Misses the final touch to put the pressure immediately on the net. But Space Station feeling the heat as Squishy's bearing down on him. Now Reynolds trying to keep it on the ground. Garrett G will neutralize 1 and 2 towards the goal. Chasing it down with no boost, but forcing Typical into the air. Justin to try and stop him here in the corner, and the ball has lost so much momentum here. This is going to be a difficult read. Garrett G with the pre-jump to block it in the midfield.
Yeah, solid read there from Garrett G. He knew he was in a bit of no man's land, doesn't want to turn around and give Space Station a free attacking play. It's the 50-50s for NRG that have kept them in such a comfortable position here. That's usually an area that Space Station like to try and dominate. Oh, great save by Reynolds. Squishy actually hitting the target from a tight angle as well.
Oh, Reynolds again with the ambitious back pass. It's Typical versus Squishy. And NRG, we highlighted their challenge game early in the series. That's really started to light back up. They are taking over the midfield over and over again, even in situations like that with Typical dribbling out of his goal. Garrett G just wins the challenge in the corner, and Spacestation can't break out of their back third.
Yeah, just look at the pressure Garrett's putting on them. Less than 40 seconds left. Now 30. Squishy gonna air dribble straight at SSG. They're quite happy to let the clock do the work for them right now. Take no risks. Just over 20 seconds for Spacestation to work with. Are they going to be eliminated in the quarterfinal? A pinch off the bar from Typical sends the ball clear.
And they can't even get a clean win here. Garrett G to drop the nail to coffin. Reynolds will pull it out before they can put the hammer on its head, but 8 seconds left. Squishy gonna have to play clean. Arsenal through the midfield. Garrett G keeping the ball high and away from him. The ball's got no momentum. Reynolds has to go for the full carry. It's over the top of the but Squishy will push it out to the middle, and NRG will win it in 6.
Oh, a great little fight at the end there by SSG. They had to do so much work just to keep it at 1-0, and Reynolds, the only player who had any boost when the clock hit 0, actually got the ball on top of his car and created a half chance for his teammates. But yeah, NRG did such a good job taking the boost away at the end. It really limited what Spacestation were able to do with that comeback attempt. And they do advance. NRG doing a huge number on their rivals here. And I think that's actually put them ahead of FaZe in overall points. So they're going to be sitting pretty at the top of the leaderboard for North America, at least at the moment. Of course, there's still one more event to come in the split, but that's all, just one more event. Spacestation Gaming, I think, guaranteed to be in a tie for 5th or 4th equal coming out of this. So, one bad Swiss again, and they're really in a lot of trouble and maybe not going to make the fall major. This is bad news for SSG. FaZe and NRG still sitting ahead of them, and I think other teams like G2 are probably going to join them.
This has been a highlight moment for NRG as well. They are clinching the major, I believe, with that win there. So we'll see them continue forward. But what a performance in Spacestation. Yeah, situation becomes more difficult for them in terms of the tie. We'll see how things evolve for them in the next regional, but they are done here for the Haunted Hallows Cup. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, got another match coming your way. You won't want to miss it.